Hi guys, how you doing today? Today we're going to be going across two subjects, judging and judgment, and money and tithing. We're going to start with judging and judgment, basically because I see too much of it going on, including in the churches. Now, the passage Romans 22 verse 3 says, "Since you judge others for doing things, why do you think you can avoid God's judgment when you do the same things?" There are too many people out there that judge you, me, that homeless person, or even the people smoking and drinking. They judge them because they believe that themselves to be pure. But yet when they go do the same thing, they still think they have done nothing wrong. Yeah. Okay. Now, granted that if you accept Jesus Christ into your heart, you are scot-free in the eyes of God the Father. That you are without sin when you go up to judgment, if you have been washed by the blood of the Lamb. But that does not mean that you can sit there and point the finger at people. If you are a Christian, do not sit there and judge people. For the single cause of atheism in the world today is Christians who acknowledge Jesus with their lips but deny him by their lifestyle. That can be interpreted one of two ways. Interpreted as, you basically say, do not love money, yet you drive around in a Lexus or Rolls Royce. You say forgive people, but yet you hold grudges. You could always say that no matter what, God will help, which he will. Yet you go around worrying about it. Knock off the judgment. If you do not want to be judged, do not judge somebody. Do not jump to conclusions because of the way they are. Because the fact is, then you are then setting the standard where you will be judged by your fellow man and by God. Now we're going to jump over to tithing. Most people, really, really hate this subject because the fact is they want to, it's like walking on eggshells. They don't want to offend somebody, but it needs to be told. It needs to be talked about. But what does the Bible itself say about Christian tithing? Okay, now, many Christians struggle with the issue of tithing. And in some churches, it is overemphasized. And at the same time, some Christians shun it because the fact is they have no idea where it's going. If you don't know, ask. Okay, some people will give because they believe that if they give $10 for every $100 they make, it's going to come back to them tenfold. Okay, let me tell you this. Jesus will multiply it tenfold, but it's not going to come back to you. The money itself will not, because the fact is it's going to where it's needed. Community, the church itself, to be able to keep bringing more people in, to fix that leaky roof, that every time it rains is dripping on the poor pianist. That does come from a real life experience too, by the way. But the New Testament, nowhere does it actually say an exact percentage of your income that a person should set aside. It just says in keeping with the income. 1 Corinthians 16:2 says, on the first day of every week, each one of you should set aside a sum of money in keeping with his or her income. Okay, now, in that aspect, if you have no income, give what you can. Give your time. Give your basically food if you have it. Give what you can. Back in the Old Testament, people were giving grain, were giving berries, were giving livestock to the church. It's because what they could do. Now, some Christians, Christian church have taken the 10% figure from the Old Testament tithe and apply it as the recommended minimum. Okay. Yeah. Nowhere in the New Testament does it say that at all. So, give what you can. Okay. And touching on the first subject, do not judge somebody for not being able to actually overly give. Give what, if they give a dollar, that might be $1 million to them. Now, the New Testament talks about the importance and benefits of giving. Sometimes it means more than 10%, sometimes it means less. It all depends on the ability, like I said, and also the needs of the church. Every Christian should diligently pray and seek God's wisdom in the matter of tithing, and if they should participate and how much to give. James 1:5 says, if any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. Okay, I like that one, because the fact is God gives all generously without finding fault. Okay, no matter what, God is there. Above all tithes and offerings should be given with pure motives and an attitude to worship God. It's to God. It's not to the church. It is not to your best friend next to you saying, I bet I can give more than you. It is to God the Father. So He can actually guide the church and guide the pastor to give it to someone or to do something with it, be it a food bank or be it to sponsor the revival, to get people to come to God, to come to the Lord. Above all tithes and offerings should be given with pure motives. I love that part. I love that part. Remember that one. Each man should give what he has decided in his heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians 9:7. Each man should give what he has decided in his heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. The reason I have repeated myself on that one is because God loves a cheerful giver. Okay, yes, be happy about it. Sing about it. You know, if you want to read more about it, it's Giving and Tithing by Larry Burkett. Read about it. Look it up. Don't just give what the pastor says you should give. Because, yes, the pastor is human. And, you know, some humans just want to put a number on things because they're afraid to offend people. Do this. If you do not have a church, find one. Talk to the pastor. Find out what the church's needs are. And if you can, work towards fulfilling it. Give $1. But don't do it in front of everybody. Like, hey, everyone, look what I'm giving. No. That's why they give those little envelopes. You could put your money in and do it anonymously. It is not a party for everyone to know and everyone to see and hear. It is for God the Father. You're giving to God. And like I said, if you cannot afford to pay, give your time to God. Go to the Salvation Army and give your time. Volunteer at your nearest church. You know, and if someone cannot give, do not judge them. Because there might be one time you cannot give. And ask God for wisdom, for help in everything you do. Tithing, eating, friendship. And that's all the time I have, unfortunately. May God bless you and watch over you.